Hi, and welcome to another 5-minute book review. Today's topic is The Portable Jung, edited by Joseph Campbell. This book is a sampler, um, sort of by year, of the work of the famous 20th century psychiatrist and smart guy, Carl Gustav Jung. Um, C.G. Jung was a contemporary and sometimes worked with Sigmund Freud, who's arguably the most famous 20th century name in psychiatry. And he's also very famous for developing the ideas of universal archetypes. This gentleman probably wrote at least a book a year his entire adult life, so he has a huge, huge volume of work. He died in 1961, well into his 80s. And what I like about this book is that it samples publications throughout his career, sort of in chronological order, and gives you a kind of a taste for Jung, and then you can decide if you want to go further with it. I find his early works, which were generally written for other professional psychiatrists of that era, which is the early 20th century, um, very heavy going. I mean, they even used a lot of psychiatric terms like dementia praecox and things like that, which I don't believe are even in use anymore. But later, his work became much more accessible for the layman. I think he was doing that deliberately, and he became as much a social commentator, I think, as a psychiatrist in that sense. And his work, he's a tremendously intelligent gentleman who was very interested in the basic questions of how did we get here, what are we doing here, and what is life all about. And these are questions I've also had, and it's comforting to know that somebody a lot smarter than me, was also looking at those questions and even coming up with answers. He was also, as somebody once said, coming up with questions nobody else even thought of, and then answering them. So, a pretty impressive fellow. This particular work, The Portable Jung, is edited by Joseph Campbell, who is very famous in his own right. He was a expert in comparative mythologies. And for those of you who are interested in trivia like that, when George Lucas was writing the Star Wars saga, I believe he consulted with Joseph Campbell, because of course a lot of the Star Wars early Star Wars works was very loaded with archetypal images. Anyway, this is I found this an excellent book, and it's an excellent way to introduce yourself to the works of Jung. If you're at all interested in it, I highly recommend it. It's still available online. You can find this at many different booksellers and Amazon and so forth. Just Google the name, and I'm sure you'll have great success. Or you can go to your local bookstore and find it there, or ask have them ordered in for you. I prefer, as always, I prefer books to digital copies. Digital copies can be altered or erased, whereas books are yours forever unless they break in and steal them and burn them. Anyway, whatever. Happy reading and good luck.